Well, damn. Well, I guess most of you have already heard the news. Uh, John Fitch got as I would call, he got the Deavors from the UFC. Mm. Let me say that's unfortunate. I think John Fitch is a very good fighter. Seemed like a very cool cat. You know, worked very hard to get to this point, and bam, just like that. A lot of, I'm hearing this right now on the message boards, even with my colleagues and everything. I mean, it's a firestorm. Everyone's upset. Everyone's flipping out. I mean, damn. The contract itself, I think I heard about it a couple months ago, some kind of licensing deal. I think they get like a small percentage or something, but they have to surrender their likeness and, the intellectual property for like the rest of their lives or whatever. And I thought, that sounded kind of stiff. But that's the choice you make here. You either sign the deal or you're fired, and that's what John Fitch found out. I mean, that's what we all found out, I guess. A guy like GSP, I don't think he would have got treated so harshly. Same thing with the Silva, BJ, or anything like that. But, I was thinking about, just not even bothering about making a video. I mean, so many other people are talking about it, but I don't know. Kind of reminds me of an old show I used to watch. It's called, you may have heard of it, Making the Band. I think like in one of the second seasons or something of this particular incarnation, the owner in question, the boss, Sean Combs, he asked like his potential band members to walk to Brooklyn and get him a cheesecake. It was one of the funnier parts of TV ever. I was saying, walk to Brooklyn and get me a cheesecake. If, a lot of people balked at this, they thought it was, disrespectful, they thought it punked them out or whatever, but this is simple terms right there. Walk to Brooklyn and get me a cheesecake. And that was the thing. And that's what John Fitch is under. That's what Koscheck, the members of AK, and, everybody else is about. This is what you're looking at here. You either want to do it or you don't. Giving up your intellectual property forever, that's a tough choice to make. But are you going to make the money from your intellectual property for the rest of your life that you're going to make in the UFC? That varies from person to person. I mean, some people, like Brock Lesnar or something, he's a celebrity or something. His intellectual property may mean some stuff to him. Something he'd have to look at. GSP, he's a big time draw. That's something he has to think about. Anderson Silva, that's what all these guys, Rampage, guys, who can really do something about that, but that's basically what it comes down to. A choice. Right or wrong. Who's ever right, who's ever wrong. John Fitch decided not to. Some people did. I think Silva, he's online with it. I heard somewhere in Dana's FU rant. But, and that's my thing right there. I think everybody should, just really, really calm down. Because I don't know, from my perspective, John Fitch, am I going to bat an eye at any UFC card or something because John Fitch isn't there? No. John Fitch is in a very difficult position. He lost to the champion. He didn't just lose to the champion, he lost convincingly. And I don't, what's he going to do now? Gatekeep? Fight off some other contenders? I don't see him ever really challenging St. Pierre again. The world won't cry if John Fitch dies. Well, some people will. But, that is the cold, hard world that is business. That's the cold, hard world that, we all have to deal with one way or another. So, don't get too upset. We had a great show last week. We got some great shows coming up, and and that's life. John Fitch can go cry on a radio show. That radio show can't help him. John Fitch fans, you can't help him either. I mean, you could probably buy, wherever he goes next. Who knows? He might even come back. It seems like a very small thing to, trip about. It seems like something that can be resolved. And hopefully this does get resolved. But until then, I'm going to need you to walk to Brooklyn and get me a cheesecake.